Hey everyone, Tim Uchuk here, and in this video, I want to share with you a simple tool to help you generate and maintain and sustain good habits. It's the Simple Habit Tracker. Before we jump into this, I want to talk a little bit about the why. Let's zoom in on the Skinner box, which is an experiment we probably all studied in high school, which is a experiment where they had the rat, the famous rat, where there was the trigger, there was the response, and then there was the reward, or the trigger, the action, the reward. So remember, there was a speaker that went off, and then the rat hit the pedal, or the lights or the speaker. The rat hits the pedal, and then it gets a treat, right? So the trigger being the speaker or the light, the action or the behavior being the hitting of the pedal, and then the reward. So trigger, action, reward. So we are no different than this, and so in the absence of having good systems in place, we have a tendency to, this is a regression back to the mean. We have a tendency to slip back to the old ways because, like it or not, we're 100% committed to our current habits. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. So we can leverage this knowledge by having good triggers in place that allow us to take the action or the behavior that's going to serve as a future gift. Because at the end of the day, this is ultimately the importance and the benefit of creating good habits, right? Today determines the tomorrows of our lives. This is what progress really looks like. It's not a straight line. Some days we're doing good. Some days we slip up. But what we want to do is over time is have some consistent, steady upwards progress. And we can do that, and we can help ourselves to achieve that progress by creating habits. And once the habits are formed, it just becomes easier, right? Success becomes the default mode for us. And so here's the habit tracker. What you want to do is fill out the template, and then you'll click duplicate for each month. So you can see we've already got May 2022 started. This is within the areas of your values. So we should not just be focusing on business because that, and wealth creation, because that is going to lead to potentially falling out of alignment with our values, where we sacrifice and say, you know what, I'll get to it next week. I'll get to it next week, spending time with the family. All of a sudden, a year goes by, 2, 3, 4, 5 years go by, and we don't get to it. So we have regret. Even though we might have had the success financially, we have the regret because we did not have a balanced set of habits. So I encourage you to find at least a few of these in these categories. Feel free to borrow some of mine, for example, that you see here. There's workout. How it works is you set the target. So look at the number of days in a month. So you could look at number of days per week, multiply by 4, giving you that target. So here we have 4 per week. We've got 16 for the month. And that will establish the target where we can just check off the boxes each day like this. One-on-one dates with kids. If we say we value our time with kids, then our habits and how we spend our time should reflect that. Here we have target of 6. We have 3 kids, so that's 2 per month per kid. One-on-one dates, wife dates, weekly planning. This is a wealth and impact where on Sundays, planning out and forecasting your week so that when your feet hit the ground on Monday, you know exactly what needs to happen. You can execute. You got the horse blinders on. Same with planning your tomorrows today. So again, you're not reactive when you wake up in the morning. You know exactly what your top 3 priorities are for the day. Your health, for me, intermittent fasting, there's all kinds of benefit tied to this. Giving your digestive system a break, all kinds of longevity benefits to intermittent fasting. So that's a target of mine. Keep it or lose it if you like. Guitar is a hobby I'm wanting to pick back up again. And then meditation and gratitude are really important habits to generate if you want to develop more control over your mind. So it's a countermeasure to squirrel brain, shiny object, squirrel brain with the inability to focus. So meditation will help you with that. So we talked about trigger. Remember the Skinner box here, trigger, behavior, reward. I recommend a couple things here. You can see the success habits. So schedule a start date, make this official. Don't just download this and do nothing with it. If I'm going to share it with you, I hope that you'll give this a try by pick a start date, put it in the calendar, add a daily reminder so you get reminded every day. Put that in your calendar so you remember to do this. Eliminate that friction, right? So it becomes easy. I recommend your partner or somebody else, pick an accountability partner, put their name here, share this with them, and they'll be putting their initials in here to keep you guys honest back and forth. So accountability is going to increase your odds of success here. And then share this with them to initial, as mentioned here. So those are the habits. Again, get in your calendar, get the reminder set up, make it easy for you to find this link by bookmarking it, give yourself the reminder, And in terms of the reward, so closing the loop on the trigger being the reminder, the action being your activity, and then the reward, number one, the reward is to think of these as future gifts for future use. So that's a pretty big reward. Otherwise, we do small things like I'll reward myself with like chocolate, one of my favorite coffees, maybe lunch out, maybe takeout, some sort of reward so you can get in the habit of just creating those positive feedback loops so you can build some momentum, celebrate the wins, celebrate these small wins, which in itself is a good habit because if we don't know how to celebrate the small wins, when we have big wins, we don't know how to celebrate either. So use this as an opportunity to celebrate, cultivate good habits, get an accountability partner if you can so they can initial here. Otherwise, each month you're going to want to duplicate this tab. And at the end, you can do a retrospective, what went well, improvement ideas for the next, rinse and repeat. So enjoy creating some awesome habits, and we'll see you in the next video.